What's packing, everybody? No, fuck that. What's packing, party people? We are officially here, everybody. I mean, the season is about to begin. Well, actually, the season has begun already. Week 1 underway. Not Patriots, but we got Kansas City. No, Tampa Bay. I'm thinking about all the wrong teams, but everybody was somehow connected. But Tampa Bay versus Dallas, that was the Thursday night game. Can't wait to see that. But bump all of that. More importantly, on Sunday, the Packers are they were supposed to be going into New Orleans to face the Saints, but because of Hurricane Ida, the game was moved to Jacksonville. And I want to say quick thoughts and prayers and just blessings and just comfort and peace and whatever else those people who have been displaced and affected by Hurricane Ida. I just pray and ask the universe that y'all will have what y'all need and you receive this blessing. All right, now let's on to the real stuff. Let's unpack this thing, man. All right, like I said, Packers is supposed to be going on the road to face the Saints, and now it's going to be turned into a neutral site game. And this is the preview show, man. So we're going to just break down the game, week 1 matchup, Saints-Packers, man. We're going to look at the injury report, the key matchups, all eyes on blank. And then we're going to do the Saints, having a little, we're going to do with some interesting, stats or interesting points of interest. Let's just call it the points of interest. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to do the odds breakdown. I'm going to give you my bet, and then I'm going to give you my prediction, man. So let's go ahead and get on into this thing. Let's unpack this thing, man. All right? Starting off from the tippity, bruh. Injury report, okay? Injury report. Let's see who's on the injury report for the Packers and the Saints. Now, the Saints only have one person on the injury report, bruh. And since they're the home team, I'm going to go with them first. And that's a cornerback by the name of Ken Crawley, I believe that is. My handwriting is garbage. But Ken Crawley. And I was like, who the fuck is Ken Crawley? I don't know who this dude is. But when I went to the depth chart, he is the starting cornerback opposite of Marshawn Lattimore. So he's basically like our version of Kevin King. So if that means anything, that means somebody's going to be feasting on the opposite side of Devontae Adams. But, you know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be, I'm trying to be more positive. So that's just a little joke. I actually think that Kevin King is going to I don't know if he's going to do well enough to get signed to an extension past this year, but I think he's going to do well enough to redeem himself from the last years and to earn himself a starting spot on another team and get paid okay. You know what I'm saying? But so that's it for the Saints. But for the Packers, we have most notably, of course, David Bakhtiari. He's on the PUP list, so he's not even included on the injury report because he's not even eligible to play for another 6 weeks. So most notably is Zadarius Smith. He is on the injury report. He was a limited participant in practice today. He has some sort of lower back injury that kind of caught them off guard. It was a non-football related injury or some shit like that. So I'm not really sure what's up with Z. I mean, I hope the dude can play, but I'm not sure how much of a factor he was going to be anyways, because as we're going to find out in the points of interest part of this episode, segment, what you want to call it is, last time they played, he did have some impact on the game, but it was kind of interesting to see how well the Saints stacked up against the Packers pass rush. So, but I'm below. That's called a tease. Okay, that's called a tease. We're gonna get to that later. So that's really and then the Packers have Vernon Scott, who he's a backup safety or like kind of like slot guy or whatever. And then we have Tyler Lancaster, who was a limited participant at practice, and Vernon Scott did not practice at all. So I mean, you can't really ask for more than this. Both of these teams are going to be relatively healthy, with the exception also of Michael Thomas, who's on the PUP. So it seems like every year Michael Thomas be ducking that smoke from Jair Alexander, because last year he was not playing. This year he injured. I mean, he don't want the smoke with Jair. He already know Jair gonna put the clamps on him. So he just said, fuck it, I'll just excuse myself. All right, so let's get to the second thing we're gonna talk about. second part of the preview is the key matchups, man. And look, it's week 1. I don't know a ton about the Saints like roster turnover. I looked at the depth chart. They look like they have tried to improve and add some players to the defense. Offensively, they're a lot different. Okay, Drew Brees is no longer there. First ballot Hall of Famer, no longer there. Okay, Latavius Murray, they let him go. I was surprised about Latavius Murray being let go. He was a sleeper that I had somebody I was gonna maybe try to pick up in the draft, fantasy draft. So they let him go. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of unknowns. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But some of the matchups that I'm looking at is the trenches. Okay, the trenches. I think that's gonna be a really important battle. And there's a lot of turnover for the Packers on the trenches, offensively and defensively. So I'm gonna say a lot of turnover, but there's some new faces. There's some new faces, and there's some old faces in some new places. Okay, Mr. Jenkins. Well, actually, not really Mr. Jenkins, because Mr. Elton Jenkins, he done played everyone offensive line, so ain't shit new to him. He done been there, got the T-shirt, and everything else. So, but I'm gonna be interested to see how Daryl Slayton plays. Probably, I think he's gonna probably get some more time because Lancaster isn't there. So it's gonna be Kenny. It's gonna be Slayton. It's gonna be what's the other dude who's like basically Tyler Lancaster? No, he got released. So Dean Lowry, he got released. So basically Kiki, Slayton, Heflin, the other dude, but I don't think he's gonna start more than Slayton. And then of course the big KC masterpiece, Kenny Clark. So in the middle, who else did I have on here, man? The running game, like I said, the trenches. So last year we saw Alvin Kamara almost single-handedly defeat the Packers in New Orleans, and he had one of the most amazing runs of the season last year, breaking like literally every single tackle, broke a tackle for like every single player on the team. So I mean, that's gonna be can the Packers. That's gonna be a matchup to watch. Can the Packers defensively match up against their offense, the running game offense of the Saints? I mean, one of the best running backs in the league, and one of the best offensive lines. So that's gonna be a really good matchup. And also, I'm gonna be looking to see how the Packers match up in the secondary. We all know Jair's a dog. We all know that Savage and Amos are the best two safeties tandem in the league. Not saying that they're the best safeties individually, but as a tandem, I don't think there's another safety tandem that was graded higher than those two. And Amos is very underrated. But we have to see if Kevin King can bounce back. We have to see if Eric Stokes is going to get some time. And we got to see who is going to be that slot defender. Who's going to be that new nickel dime guy. So, and look, we know Michael Thomas isn't there. There's some uncertainty for the Saints. But I'm going to put it like this. There was a lot said about Drew Brees the last couple of years there. He wasn't really the same guy he was early on in his career with the Saints. He wasn't able to really push the ball down the field. Blase. I don't know how much of that is true. How much of that is just kind of speculative. Just like people sort of creating a narrative to fit their, whatever the fuck they want to, the picture they want to paint. But it's like, I think that this offense could surprise people this year. I think a lot of people think this is going to be a step back for the Saints because the quarterback position, we have some turnover in Jameis Winston and, Taysom Hill. But, I think that this could actually be like a low-key upgrade for the Saints. Like, Jameis Winston can sling that thing. You know what I'm saying? And if they have been able to figure out how to, get him to stop turning the ball over, to make better decisions, I think he can be a good quarterback in this NFL. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be a challenge for this Packers secondary and this Packers front seven. So all around, it's going to be a challenging game. I can't wait to see it. Unfortunately, the Saints are missing some key players on offense, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, bitch. So that's what it is. Now, I know I talked about some of the key matchups, but I'm going to just basically focus on a couple of players right here and just say all eyes to me on the Saints are going to be on Jameis Winston. And this is what I'm going to basically do. Every matchup, I'm going to just pick one or two people on each side on each team and just say, hey, man, all eyes on them. Okay? So I think it's all. I mean, it's obviously all eyes on Jameis Winston, right? I mean, he's replacing a Hall of Famer. He notoriously kind of got shipped out of town from the team that drafted him, like what, first overall or whatever it was, like the Buccaneers. Then they go on to win the fucking Super Bowl. So it's like, I think Jameis Winston is. I mean, a lot of people are kind of like probably like low on him right now, and he just has a lot to prove. So it's really all eyes on Jameis. How is he going to be able to function in this offense? Is there going to be a lag, or is he going to be able to kind of get them going, trending up in the right direction again? And then on for the Packers, I mean, I'm going to say all eyes on Elton Jenkins, because to me, Elton Jenkins is going to be the key to the future for the Packers, or one of the main keys to the future. And this dude, to me, is one of the most underrated players in the NFL, period. I think he's already one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL. And now he's going to be paired up against a premier pass rusher in Cameron Jordan. I think that's his name, Cameron Jordan. You know what I'm talking about. You know the dude. I think his name is Cameron Jordan. And you know, we're going to have to see, and until Bakhtiari comes back, and then we're going to see where they're going to put Elton Jenkins after that, man. I would love to just see him at left guard next to Bakhtiari, so that left side can just be the strong side. And we just run there and just, you know, move all the, you know, we just basically, if you put Bakhtiari and Elton Jenkins next to each other, like, you don't have to worry about that side. Like, nothing is coming over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then plus you got Myers next to them. So it's like the left side is, that shit is shut down. So I would just rather do that, put all the greatest strength together. But those are my two all eyes on players, like Jameis Winston for the Saints and Elton Jenkins for the Packers. We're going to see how he holds up. And now let's get to some of the tidbits of information, some of the points of interest. The first point of interest, the crew for the game is going to be Buck and Aikman, which a lot of Packers fans don't like Buck and Aikman, but I actually like Buck and Aikman. I think they're a great duo, and I'm going to be looking forward to them being in the booth. Some other interesting points that I wanted to bring up is the Packers have not lost a season opener since 2014. Now, something's going to have to give, because there's some other interesting points that I'm going to read about Aaron Rodgers, but I think that kind of contradict that, because something's going to have to give. But, I mean, since 2014, I mean, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I mean, 6 years, these motherfuckers ain't lost a season opener. So, I mean, hopefully that trend will continue. But then when you look at this tweet, which says, and this is about, this was a tweet that I saw. It was basically to be rumored that the game, like I said, had to be moved from New Orleans to Jacksonville. And it was rumored that the Saints chose to move the opener to Jacksonville because it was the most expensive for Packers fans. They looked at the travel flights from Green Bay to Jacksonville and wherever else they could have potentially played the game, and they said, we're going to choose Jacksonville because it's most expensive for Packers fans. Now, Packers fans travel anyways, so it don't really matter. It can be expensive or not expensive. These motherfuckers won't travel. But anyways, and then they also said the Saints looked at all three Florida stadiums, which is Miami, Jacksonville, and Tampa Bay, because they figured the state's heat and humidity could give them an edge. They looked up Aaron Rodgers' record in Florida and discovered he is 3-4 in his career with a 78.1 passer rating. They also considered Packers fans. A staff researched flights from Green Bay to Jacksonville, Miami, and Tampa Bay on Expedia, and Jacksonville was the most expensive and presented the most challenging itinerary. That sold them on the Saints at TIAA Bankfield. Now, like I said, these are all rumors, and we don't know if it's true. But if it is true, I love to see it. This is the kind of petty gamesmanship that I think makes competition great. You know what I'm saying? Like when your competitor is willing to do whatever they can to get an edge over you know what I'm saying, or your opponent, or whoever, when teams are looking to get any sort of advantage, and they go to such lengths as to figure out what would be the most difficult destination for their rival fans to travel to, and looking up the rival quarterbacks, passer rating and statistical achievements or lack thereof, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Just like looking up the stats and looking up how well he does in certain states or certain stadiums. I mean, I think that's fair. It's petty, but it's fair, and it's the kind of shit that I like to see. So I hope it is true. I hope they did do all that shit. And like I said, so something's going to have to meet here. Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers is 3-4. He's played 7 games. He's 3-4. I mean, but they haven't lost the opener since 2014. So let's hope that continues. But then again, it's like maybe he goes down to 4 for 4 in Florida. We don't know. But there was one more interesting stat that I wanted to put here, and this is by Daria Carragher. I don't know this motherfucker. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but like, can you see it? I don't know if you can see it, but it's this dude. Okay. It says both Zadarius Smith and Rashawn Gary register the lowest pass rushing grades of their Packers careers last year against the Saints. The Saints offensive tackle duo of Armstead and Ramczyk, which I have to admit is probably the best duo of tackles in the NFL, have only allowed 1 total sack in their last 11 games. Packers got to do better this time around. That's courtesy of Daria Carragher, contributor to lots of different Packers shit online. Very well-known Packers contributor, social media person. So, like, there you have it, man. Those are the points of interest. So, I mean, that's why I said earlier, like, I don't even know if Zadarius was able to play, if that would make that big of a difference. I mean, the tackles in the offensive line in general for the Saints is really fucking good. Now, let's on to the betting odds in my prediction. They said Green Bay right now is a 4-point favorite. They're laying 4. Green Bay -4. The over-under is 50. And it opened originally at Green Bay -1, so it's basically kind of like a toss-up, which is kind of weird because the Saints were supposed to be playing at home. But I don't know if this was because Ida already had been moved or whatever when this was originally opened. But I'm going to take the Saints to cover. I mean, the Packers basically, for those who don't know how betting works, when you have the plus and the minus, basically tells you who's the favorite. And if a team is -4, that means they're favorite to win. And that means that if you're going to bet if you want to bet the Packers, they have to win by more than 4 points. So, they'd have to win 30-20. That's 10 points. You know what I'm saying? They have to win by more than 4 points. That's why this -4, they're laying 4 points. The Saints are +4, which means they can still lose the game. But if you bet the Saints, they can still lose the game. But as long as it's not by more than 4 points, you can still win the bet. So I'm going to take the Saints to cover this bet. Okay, 4 points on a neutral site. I mean, humidity, you saw the stats. Rodgers is only 3-4, 78.1 passer rating. He's not that great in the state of Florida. I mean, all kinds of, we're missing, some people. So it's like, hey, I'm going to take the Saints to cover that. And I'm going to take the under on the 50 points because I believe this is going to be a kind of a mid-scoring game. I think it's going to be Packers 24, Saints 23. And I think it's going to be a good week 1, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should I take the over, the under? Do you think the Saints are going to win? Would you take the Packers? Let me know. Who are your key players, key matchups, and who your eyeballs going to be on in week 1. Okay, guys, until the next show, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up or thumbs down if you don't like it. Just hit something, all right? Giggity. And I should say just thumb something. Giggity. Anyways, also hit that notification bell for me and subscribe. You know what I like to say at the end of every show? Go, Pack, go. And remember, the Bears still suck.